over ponder. The most commonly mentioned one is that you can portent your opponent to lock them out. But in a Miracle deck, portent takes on extra functionality. You can portent yourself and then draw the card on your opponent's turn instead of your own so that you get the Miracle trigger.
Correct. That's what kind of makes Legacy a great format, is that this particular card is fantastic in Joe's strategy. So there is in most cases a card that exists that you may not even know about, and in this case portent, that is the perfect fit for what Joe wants for his deck. Drawing a card on his opponent's turn, much better than drawing one on his own for Terminus.
Portent was sick technology, the preordain, way back 15 years ago when Alan Comer invented preordain. On the other side, though...
Many moons ago.
Yeah. On the other side, Derek playing a very stock Rug Delver deck. About the most unusual thing we could see here is the Green Sun Zenith. But it doesn't even go get anything crazy, you know?
Yeah, he has 3 Tarmogoyfs and 1 Scavenging Ooze in his deck, so nothing crazy that you haven't seen in his main deck or his sideboard. There are no green creatures in the sideboard, so there's not like some sort of silver bullet that he can search for that would blow someone out. Also has 2 copies of Fire and Ice here, which is seen a decent amount. Sometimes that spot is occupied by Forked Bolt.
And he does have Forked Bolt in the sideboard, so that he can be maxed out. He can have Forked Bolt, Fire Ice, and Lightning Bolt.
So he definitely has access to a healthy amount of red removal. Not great in this particular matchup. It is...
No, not even good.
But in other matchups, and sometimes in the mirror, that's exactly where you want to be. These players are in Game 3, as we are seeing Derek take a mulligan. And looking over the sideboard for Derek, seeing where he can get a leg up in this particular matchup. Red Elemental Blast is a spot that he's going to want to be in. No real use for Surgical Extraction here. Ancient Grudge, not particularly great, I suppose, because he does not have a Stoneforge Mystic package at all.
He could theoretically Surgical to mess up one of these 2 Snapcasters or just screw up a counterbalance top situation.
Okay.
It's probably not worth it. I think you gotta just keep your threats and your interaction.
He does have 1 Crossing Grip to be able to break up a counterbalance, a Spell Pierce here as well, and Life on Loam if he kind of wants to get a little grindy and bring back some Wastelands and some fetch lands. But again, Joe's deck has a lot of basic lands in it. That's one of the things that makes his take on Miracles interesting.
He also doesn't feature any Wastelands at all. So I think that the Life from the Loam loses a little utility, you know? If they were fighting Wasteland battles on both sides, it's more valuable to be able to get the more fetch lands. But with a mana curve that stops at 2, I think that the Life from the Loam probably, unless he just wants to be on the mono Wasteland plan, is not going to be worth it.
And again, Joe's deck does a very nice job of fighting opposing Wastelands. There are 5 islands and 2 plains in this deck. He's also very good at fighting opposing chokes, which is not going to come from the Rug Delver deck, of course, because it has Volcanic Island and Tropical Island, but you're going to find 2 copies of Glacial Fortress in Joe's Blue-White Miracles deck list, which does a fantastic job of adding both colors of mana and not being tapped down by a choke from a Maverick deck or someone else with green mana.
Not to mention 2 plains and a Krakus to make sure he still has enough mana to operate, you know? Of particular note, Baneslayer Angel. I think there's a real good chance that Joe brought Baneslayer Angel in this matchup. It's good against the red removal, most of which Derek probably boarded out. Baneslayer Angel can completely lock down Tarmogoyf, Delver Secrets, and Nimble Mongoose. I mean, it's pretty close to a free win if your opponent doesn't know about it, if you stick it.
Yeah, if that does resolve in this matchup, I can't imagine Derek being able to beat it. There's no way for him to get it off the table, and as long as Joe uses it correctly, I'm not sure exactly how a Rug Delver opponent would be able to beat such a card. As Derek is mulled to 5 this game, we do see a Scalding Tarn to lead things off for him, searching for one of his non-basics, as there are no basics in his deck list. And we're going to see a Volcanic Island.
Joe definitely playing the controlling role in this matchup. It's going to be kind of tricky because he's got access to some super high tempo plays like Terminus, and he's got access to some free wins like Moat and Baneslayer. But overall, his curve is a little bit higher, and he is somewhat vulnerable to disruption.
In the Walking Dead video
as we see a important resolving for Joe targeting himself.
Wants to give you $10
What do you think about not red elemental blasting the portent there?
See if you can survive.
I think I would actually just red blast it.
Brought to you by our friends at Activision.
Any particular reason, just like on being on a mulligan of 5, Do you think you just kind of want to hope he doesn't have a second land or something like that? Maybe get a little lucky?
A little combination of you're short on resources, so you want to hope he's mana screw, but second, when you're so short, you're not necessarily going to be in a position to force through your threats. Not that your threats are even the type of thing to be forced through. I mean, who cares? Each one isn't the important thing. I think you want to just disrupt Joe's card flow early on.
As we're going to see a Sensei's Divining Top here from Joe, along with that aforementioned Glacial Fortress. In Joe's hand, there is a Moat, there is a Sword for Plowshares, and I believe there is a Baneslayer Angel as well, as you're going to see a Lightning Bolt on the end step here from Derek.
I wonder if he boarded the Lightning Bolt back in after losing to Baneslayer Angel, or if he just has Lightning Bolt to occasionally kill a Snapcaster Mage or Vendilion Clique. Because I think that's kind of a tough way to do it. It does have the added functionality of helping keep Jace the Mind Sculptor under control, though, so it might just be right to play some.
And we're going to see a Brainstorm here from Derek. Does not look to have a third land or even a fetch land at this point as he puts 2 cards back, seeing Stifle, Green Sun Zenith, Red Elemental Blast, and Nimble Mongoose in his hand.
Now he did tap the green, so he doesn't have access to Nimble Mongoose because he wants to keep Brainstorm as an option. I mean, Red Elemental Blast as an option.
Indeed. Joe opting to keep things as they are with Sensei's Divining Top, drawing Counterbalance for the turn.
That may be the more important card to Red Elemental Blast.
And he's just going to pass back.
Wants to wait. Patience. He probably is predicting Red Elemental Blast given the play pattern here.
And he may have seen it, game 2 as well. As we're going to see another Sensei's Divining Top activation. Nimble Mongoose resolving
Attention
in the
Kamikaze
meantime.
attendees! Don't forget your Kamikaze
see a
merch.
Terminus for this Nimble
Now
Mongoose?
50%
Or
off
does he
all
wait a turn to
t-shirts
see if he can
and
also
other
sucker and end up
merchandise.
playing a Terminus? He
Starting
probably won't
now.
because of the Terminus threat,
Merchandise
you know?
booth is in the lobby on your way in or on your way out. Don't forget, 50% off.
We're going to see a Brainstorm here.
There's a dinosaur in a, it looks like a bumper in a go-kart being chased by the guy who is the protagonist of Jurassic Park, also in a go-kart.
Only in LA. Only in LA, my friends. As we do have a Brainstorm here resolving, I could really see a Terminus happening this turn just because there is a Swords of Plowshares in his hand, but again, he doesn't actually have to do that because there is also a Moat in Joe's hand, which is going to take care of not only that Nimble Mongoose, but future Tarmogoyfs as well.
See, I like the Terminus play here. It's just a nice answer. You don't have to put all your chips in, you know. It does look like he has the Terminus. He might. It looks like he might be waiting a turn since he did hit his mana. Now,
May I
you can
have your
always activate
attention,
top and
please?
instant speed.
Next up on the main stage, screening of Brickleberry with an intro by Roger Black and
See a
Waco
fetch line
Oak
here
Wind.
as we
Don't miss
also
it.
see
4 o'clock, the main stage, screening
the
of
counterbalance.
Brickleberry with an introduction
Red Elemental
by
Blast.
Roger Black and
Someone's
Waco
gonna
Oak
force this one
Wind.
through. I think it's just too important. You gotta give up that Snapcaster.
Let's take a look at his hand. How many cards do you have? 3 there.
He does.
And he was
Force
gonna
of
fight
Will
over
is the
this.
Red Blast. The counterbalance top combo has been assembled.
I think it's
And what's
Red Delver.
interesting is that not only does he have a Terminus on top, he has a Baneslayer second to the top, which locks out Force of Will.
Indeed. As we do see Derek draw another card for his turn. 2 Stifles, a Scavenging Ooze, and a Green Sun Zenith in hand. Don't think we're quite at threshold yet. He's
Now,
going to come
you can
across
use
with that
Stifle to mess
Mongoose.
up a counterbalance top a little bit, but it's a real hard way to do it.
Yeah. Very, very difficult way to go about breaking that up. And it's a very difficult thing for a Rug to break through once it's accomplished. Most of the cards in this deck cost 1 or 2 mana, and in turn, so do most of the cards in Joe's deck.
Yep.
And he's just going to pass back. We're going to see an activation of Sensei's Divining Top on the end step.
No need to Terminus yet. Time is on Joe's side.
Yes, it is. As we even see a 5th land over in Joe's hand, there's another Flooded Strand there, which if he wants to go the Baneslayer route this turn, he certainly can. And there's our Terminus.
He does. stifling the miracle trigger. Which is not going to make Terminus go away.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask you that. How does that interaction work?
He's going to have Terminus in his hand at the end of this. Except that he knows that he has a top 2 from the top.
And we are going to get that right out of here. So Terminus is going to move Nimble Mongoose straight to the bottom of the deck.
Derek in real bad shape at this point.
Yep. Another Nimble Mongoose drawn. He considered casting it briefly, but realized again that there's a Sensei's Divining Top on top of Lossett's deck.
At least he has chances with a Green Sun Zenith or a Scavenging Ooze.
Joe going to spin. 2, 3. We see a Baneslayer Angel, a Swords to Plowshares, and a Sensei's Divining Top there. Looks like he's moving the Baneslayer on the top of his deck and basically saying that Green Sun Zenith is fine. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up here, and I think that we are going to see Baneslayer's next turn, potentially the best angel ever printed.
See, I think you're going to see a moat.
Do you think we're going to see moat this
Yeah,
turn?
keep one man open to be able to counterbalance top. He just wanted to put the Baneslayer in his hand to make sure that he actually kept it, because that's what he's going to want to do on the following turn. See, the thing is, he knows he can't force anything through. So if Derek can actually counter this moat, he wants the moat to be the one countered and Baneslayer to be the one that sticks.
Okay. And we do see the moat there.
So this buys Joe all the time in the world.
That's going to be tough. No Mongoose, I don't think so.
Because now the only creatures in Derek's deck that can even attack are Delver's Secrets, which are countered by Counterbalance Top. This game is all but over with.
And when we do see that Baneslayer Angel finally hit play, I think that will end the game, as we see Stifle attempting to take care of this Flooded Strand. Joe can fight over this.
Ah, but he'll lose his top.
He will lose his top.
This is smart play. Smart play by Derek. I think you just blind reveal, see if you have a 1. Oh, does he have another top in his hand?
I'm not sure. I'm just going to reveal that. And Joe actually did draw a land off of the fetch. Now he could have elected not to search, but it looks like he is going to search now and get another Tundra. So he's going to lose the soft lock that he had in play.
So now Joe does have Baneslayer Angel. Even though there's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the round, he can easily win in time. It's just a question of how careful can he afford to be.
And we see the 5 mana being tapped here. And Baneslayer Angel.
Now, he didn't have to search, but the shuffle was mandatory, but of course he could have just allowed the Stifle to resolve.
Sure.
But he didn't know that he had a 5th mana on top of his deck, so...
As we are going to see the Tarmogoyf, which, you know, he can reveal for this, and counter spell.
Obviously.
That's a good day at the office,
Obviously.
is what that is.
So incredibly obvious.
As we see a Force of Will in Derek's hand, drawn 1 turn late for that Baneslayer Angel. Across for 5, a 10-point life swing we're going to see, and we're going to see a couple more of those to likely end this game.
We're already at the point where he has enough time to win the match in turns.
How about 2 for 2 on blind reveals? Two for 2 on blind reveals.
Oh, it's the top too.
Oh, it's top.
You told the actual nut perfects, back-to-back counterbalance, reveal counterspell, then counterbalance reveal Sensei's Divining Top.
Well, you would say that's fairly good.
I would say that's the nut perfects. Oh, no, the No Perfects is reveal Force of Will here. Doesn't matter, he has counterspell to force it through.
He does. Joe, all right, I'll balance, counterbalance. All right. We can fight over this if I want to, and I am electing to do that to keep you in the lock here. And another 10-point life swing here, bringing Joe up to 23, Derek down to 9. Only 2 more to go. So we see a Delver Secrets drawn. See a spinning of the top.
Good afternoon,
He has ones and
Kamikaze
twos locked out.
attendees.
Yep.
Take some
all she
Kamikaze home with you. All the Kamikaze merchandise is 50% off. T-shirts, iPhone covers, sweatshirts,
more,
bags,
knocking
and
Derek
more.
down to 4.
Visit the
Joe up to
Kamikaze
28.
merchandise booth in the
And
lobby.
we'll see one more draw step from Derek and potentially one more from Joe.
And that's the
And
match.
that's it.
Joe pulls it off versus Derek Schuetz. Blue-White Miracles versus Rug Delver.
Joe Lossett, very well known in the Star City Games circuit. He's been traveling to more of them. Not sure if he's going to the Invitational, but very well known for playing Blue-White Miracles in Legacy. Kind of spearheading the changes that have been made to this deck with Baneslayer Angel, with Glacial Fortress, with the addition of Moat. Even though one of the more expensive cards, he's been winning enough on the circuit to be able to have one in his deck. Patrick, I know that you are